Now let's create an automated flow. Well, actually we're going to be creating two flows, two automated flows. The first automated cloud flow is we're going to be breaking down what we have just created from a template. So we created from a template a flow that when we receive a attachment in our inbox, an email with an attachment, we save that attachment to Google Drive. So we created that from a template, loads of things, well, not loads of things, a few things were created for us. Now let's try to replicate that from scratch by building it ourselves. It's always good to have meaningful names in our processes so that we don't lose them. So let's search for the trigger that we are looking for. We can find all kinds of different triggers. I am looking for the Gmail triggers. So when I receive an email to my Gmail account, something will happen. So we can see that automatically this trigger was created. And now I have the ability to create new actions or new connectors, connect new things. Let's take a closer look at this. We can see that I am using one of my connections, and I can also change the folder from which I'm checking right now where emails are received. So let's also look at the different details. We can specify the information from the email that arrives. So we can get really specific about the type of email that we are looking for. So we can configure the different fields from which person we are expecting to receive the email, what could be in the subject. We can also use regular expressions in all of these so that our query would include other things. We will just select the inbox and leave all of the other configuration like that. Let's add a new step. So the new step is going to be to save a document in Google Drive. So let's search for the Google Drive connector. And right here, I am looking for different connectors / here we have the connectors, and here we have what these connectors do. So I'm looking for a Google Drive. So maybe let's search for Drive. And here we have the connector. Now when I click on the connector, I have all of the different actions that are created. So let's look for one that says create file. Fortunately, is the first one in the list. Let's select it. And so far, so good. It has been pretty easy. And now it's giving us a couple of fields. So instead of using code to configure any of this, we're gonna just we're just gonna click around and configure this connector. So create a file, it's asking for a folder for us to choose. So we're gonna go to our Google Drive. We're gonna look at the different folders that I have in Google Drive. We're gonna see the attachments folder. I'm going to be using this attachment, and then the file name that is going to be created. So the file name, I'm going to make it into the title from the email, maybe the subject. So let's make it dynamic. It's going to be the subject, and the file content is going to be the attachments content. And we can see that a couple of things created automatically. A loop was created automatically for us. So this means that like we have seen automatically, it is going to go through all of the attachments inside of an email and is going to save all of those attachments with the file name of the subject of this of the email. So we have, in a couple of minutes, we have already replicated the template that we have created, and we have already created an automation that does a couple of things. Before running this, let's make one little adjustment to the subject, and let's put the attachment name. So let's search for attachment, or let's search here in the dynamic content, and let's put the attachment name. Okay, our process should be ready, and now we can test our process and see if it works. Now let's create an email, send it to ourselves, but first let's save our process and let's click on test. Now that we are enabling this, we can send ourselves an email and see if our process is working. So let's create an email, let's write it to ourselves. And let's also add a couple of pictures so to see if they will be saved as well. Let's add these pictures and let's send them to ourselves. All right. Apparently the process has ran successfully. So if we check in our Google Drive, in a couple of minutes, we're going to see that the files that we sent have been uploaded successfully. Now that we have replicated the template that we have created with an automated flow, let's create another automated flow from scratch to get a feeling of how these kind of flows are created. So what I will be doing in this flow, I will be automatically posting to Twitter every time I upload a YouTube video. As I have told you already in the introduction, I have a YouTube channel, so I often upload to this YouTube channel, and I would like to automatically make posts on Twitter when I upload a new a new video onto YouTube. So let's call this upload and let's search for a trigger. So in this case, the trigger will be coming from YouTube. And here it is, exactly what I'm looking for when I upload a video. And we can see that we have also other triggers as well when a video is uploaded by another channel, when a new video matches a search. So we could create a flow that checks when one of our interested channel is uploading a video and sends us a reminder or an email or makes a post about it, or we can do pretty much anything that we can think about. So I will select this and I will create the flow. And just as previously, a trigger is created right here. So I am also connected already to my YouTube channel, and therefore I don't need to set up this connector anymore, but it's just adding a new connection is just signing into YouTube. So this is our trigger for our automated flow. Now let's create a new action. Now what do we want to do? We want to post to Twitter. So I will search for a Twitter plugin, and here it is, Twitter action. So post to Twitter again is the first action that we want, but we can see that we can get many different actions like get user, get the number of followers, well, get my followers, get followers from another account. This could be actually pretty interesting, and so on. All right, so now that we have this, let's post a tweet. So this is where we would put the text that we want to be tweeted. So for example, we can write in and after that I want to bring your attention to this part right here. So this part right here is going to allow you to automatically insert dynamic content. Power Automate Flow is great because it automatically looks for all of the types of APIs and connections that this connector provides, and it allows us to use them just by clicking basically without much configuration, just by using this dynamic content. So for example, if I wanted the title of this video, I would just put in the video summary title, and in here maybe I wanted to put the description of the video. Well, I actually wanted to put the link, and I will put the link to the video right here. So automatically I am getting from this connector right here, I'm getting the link to the video, and I'm also automatically getting the title without having to write any code. Now that is it. I can save my flow, and I can test my process. So once I click test, this process is going to be enabled. And when we upload now something to YouTube, we will have a video that is automatically posted to Twitter. Now let me show you an example of how this works. I already have a process that does this. So when we go to this Twitter page and we go down here, we have a robot that uploaded a video 4 hours ago automatically when I uploaded something to YouTube. So that is how we create automated flows.